on it again. All right, that out of the way. What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Let's do a quick rundown of the deck. So this is Elves in Standard. The way the deck is laid out is it's mono green. We've got some Desert of the Indomitables for extra card draw and for more deserts to sacrifice with the Hash Up Oasis to pump our creatures late game. That way they can get through for some damage, trade with a possible bigger creature, force some answers from our opponent, etc., etc. The front line of our deck are the 4 Land War Elves that we have here that are horribly missed match. Let's get some better Land War Elves. Those are going to be the main point of contention in the deck. We're going to throw in some old school ones from here. They are accompanied in the 1-drop slot with Blossoming Defense, which is going to pump our creatures early game, protect them from removal, force trades where possible, sneak away some wins. Wherever we need these, it'll come in handy. Druid of the Cowl. It's another 2-mana elf. It's a 1/3. It's a good body. It blocks things. It can trade well with smaller things, or maybe some creatures that are a little heavier on the front end. Maybe something that's equipped. Elfame Druid. It's another 2-mana elf. It's not as durable as Druid of the Cowl, but it gives us some more reach, gives us some more mana, gives another creature to block and or trade possibly with Desert of the Indomitable, Blossoming Defense, etc., etc. It's also very low mana cost. We can get it out. Metallic Mimic is a recent addition to the deck. It's an elf. It triggers Marwyn, the Nurturer, which we're going to hit on in a second. It puts +1/+1 counters on our creatures, which is good for Reshgar, Pima Renegade. It's also really good for getting our creatures just a tad bit beefier than they were before. Odinic Gaming, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday, sir. Marwyn the Nurturer. This has been a sleeper OP creature in our preliminary testing. It can get big really fast and can generate lots of mana on the fly without needing much else. It's really good body. It's a 1/1 for 3 mana, which kind of sucks, but in Elves we can get it out pretty quickly. We can get it big fast, and it can help us late game. Rishkar, Pima Renegade. This is a creature that pumps our creatures, allows creatures with 1/1 counters to generate mana. If they don't, like Metallic Mimic, it makes our Elfame Druids a 1/3, which is on par with Druid of the Cowl. It makes our Druid of the Cowls 2/4s, etc., etc. It also puts 2 counters on Marwyn the Nurturer if we want, which will come in handy later. Steelleaf Champion, one of the standard all-stars right now, shining in mono green decks. It's a 5/4 for 3 mana. Can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or less. It's just really good. Built onto an elf body, can really help support the deck, push in some late game damage, help us out early with a big wall. Lifecrafter's Bestiary, it's just going to fit right into any green deck. It allows us to scry on upkeep. We can pay green mana when we cast this creature spell to draw an extra card. It gives us dig, it gives us depth, it gives us late game. Hopefully we don't lose these and find these as early as possible. Uncage the Menagerie. Now, in Modern Elves, I like my Collected Companies, I like my Lead the Stampedes, I like my Court of Callings. We don't have any of those, unfortunately, so we have to lean towards Uncage the Menagerie. Why? Well, if we do X = 2, we can get a Metallic Mimic or an Elfame Druid, or Elfame Druid, Druid of the Cowl, Metallic Mimic, Druid of the Cowl. However you want to mix it up, we can do it. If you want to do X = 3, we can get Marwyn, Steelleaf, and Rishkar. Go get them out. 3 cards in our hand. It's pretty good. We run 4 of those because it just tutors creatures. We can even do Uncage the Menagerie for X = 1 if we need to go get a Land War Elves. It's super helpful, super great, early or late. Doesn't matter how much mana we put into it. Paradox Engine. This is a cute card. It's 5 mana. We can usually drop it around turn 3, 4-ish, depending on how godly our draw is. It allows the elves to untap and continue to just go off. That with Lifecrafter's Bestiary, if we get hot and run creature, can allow for some very explosive plays. It also leads us to our last card in our main board, which is Walking Ballista. If we can get enough mana generated, we can throw on some counters on it. We can kill the opponent late game. We can get through. We can give us some reach against creatures with flying, something to ping tokens. This is going to be a good creature. Sideboard. Our sideboard is a little kind of just all over the place, experimental at the moment. We have a Nissa Vital Force. This gives us a 5/5. It's good against control. It's good against recursion, or good for recursion to get stuff out of the graveyard. Aethersphere Harvester. It's great against the red matchup. Great against burn matchup. Anything that flies, we can block it and gain some life. Sorcerer Spyglass. Planeswalkers. Pingers. Anything with an activated ability that we don't like, we can just name it and get that taken care of. Plummets, they're more tuned for Glory Bringers, the 4/4s with Exert that destroy stuff. We want to get those out of the way. Plus a Baneslayer Angel variant is starting to be run. I think her name is Lyra, however you want to say it. This takes care of her as well. 2 mana, gone. Worry about you later. Naturalize is good against our opponent's Sorcerer Spyglass, against our opponent's vehicles that are going to do some damage. Yeah, soon enough says Druid of the Cowl is also great in the red matchup. Naturalize is good removal against Lich, against enchantment-based removal, any kind of worrisome artifacts, things like that. It's all around great. Heroic Intervention, we're going to see this a lot versus our blue-white matchups. We're gonna have to play around Settle the Wreckage after turn 4, but this will help seal us up after turn 5 if they try to fumigate. They will still gain life. So if I have 6 permanents or 6 creatures and they cast fumigate and I cast this, my creatures won't die, but they'll still be destroyed. They'll still gain 6 life. I'd rather give them 6 life and have them tap out for the entire turn. Like that way I can just come back and win the next turn. And life goes on. This is just a fun of. I threw it in here against burn or other card decks where I might need some life. We can chump block with our druid of our Elfame druid, and then after combat gain 8 life. This team's really good. They don't gain 6 life, but why don't they gain 6 life? I'm incorrect. Let me figure out why. The creatures are still destroyed. Fumigate still destroys the creatures, or is it when it goes to the graveyard? I may be reading the card. 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. I think that works. I understand that, but it's still okay. I may be incorrect, but this is how the deck works. We're gonna be tuning it as the night goes on. Let me look up Fumigate real quick, because I swear I think they still get life. Destroyed this way. Oh, okay, because it says this way. That's why. Because it says this way. All right. Because for instance, there are cards that say destroy target land, and you could target your Darksteel Citadel with it, like Ghost Quarter, for instance. Ghost Quarter, you could target your Darksteel Citadel, you still get the effect. Even though it says destroy target land, you're destroying a land. It's indestructible. You can target Darksteel Citadel with it, still get your land. I thought it was the same kind of thing, but I guess it's because destroyed this way is in there. Because it doesn't say destroyed this way.